Others did not fall to their death, contrary to police reports. You're in safe pair of hands tonight. Our sign language interpreter is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get this show started. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says the delay in announcing the death of police officer Benedict Kabiru in Haiti was as a result of synchronization of relaying information from security agencies based in Haiti to Kenyan authorities. Report of Kabiru's death emerged in March, where it was established that the officer was killed in a gang ambush at Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. Then, police dismissed reports of Kabiru's death, saying he was only missing. On Wednesday, top NPS officers visited Kabiru's family in Kiambu County to officially communicate his death in March. Police, however, said Kabiru's body is yet to be located.
Unfortunately, in that mission, we lost three of our officers. One of whom is Mr. Benedict Kabiru. Mr. Kabiru lost his life in unfortunate circumstances that were actually not directly related to the shooting by those people. I think it was in the case of protecting colleagues, and the whole report is going to be made public by the IG, but the family has been informed. The National Police Service visited his family yesterday. It may have been, I saw some people raised concern that the message from the president went public before his family was visited. When that news was confirmed, the National Police Service dispatched a team to visit the family. But the synchronization of time made it such that by the time the president was making the statement, I think our officers had not reached the family. But eventually the family was visited, informed of this very unfortunate circumstance, and we continue condoling with the family of Mr. Kabiru. Necessary arrangements will be made to inform. The family has been informed of the circumstance under which he died, and all concerns surrounding his demise have been addressed with the family.
Where are the remains of my son? That's what I'm asking. If they want the president to tell me, I'm waiting for him because he's the one who told me that my son is dead. I have my right to know before the public knows. Me, I was knowing through the public that my son is normal.
Did he fall sick? Was it an accident? Was he shot? When did he die? And where are the remains?
We condole with the family, and it is quite sad under the circumstances to which they had to find out about the death of their son. Obviously, we can all remember the video that was circulating online, and we hope that they'll get some closure at last. At the same time, the CS for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, has ordered the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, to take action against individuals who mocked the national flag last weekend at Nyayo Stadium. The IG, Douglas Kanja, says that those involved are already being pursued by the police, while the Somali embassy in Kenya has apologized over the incident. The incident occurred during the match between Somalia, Mogadishu FC, and Kenya police last weekend at Nyayo Stadium. One of the sought-after 17-year-old is currently under police custody, as announced by the DCI.
Hatutakubali mtu yoyote iwe Mkenya ama mgeni kucheza na uhuru wetu na our symbols of national unity, including our national flag. So, Manaiji, take the necessary legal action. Let the law take its course. Wanashikanyaka ama wanataka wageni wachezee bendera yetu. Hatu wanakanyaka na kuchoma na kuchezea. That is a flag that was worn by sweat and blood.
DCI ya kwamba huyu mtu anakanyaga bendera yetu ya Kenya. Bendera ile ilipiganiwa hapa mpaka tukapata uhuru yetu, si ni kweli? Hiyo anatucheza ama vipi? Na hatuwezi tukakubali kamwe. So the director of Directorate of Criminal Investigation is under direct instructions from the Inspector General, none other than Douglas Kanja Kirocho, that he must move with speed and efficiency and ensure that that man is arrested and taken before a court of law. Alafu koti zetu sifanye kazi yao. Bendera yetu lazima iheshimiwe na kila mmoja wetu.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, is asking the youth to take advantage of the continuous voter registration expected to start next week to register as voters. Speaking when he appeared before the Constitution Implementation and Oversight Committee of the National Assembly, the IEBC chairperson Erastus Ethekon Edung said the commission has laid down measures to ensure a record number of voters in the 2027 polls. IEBC plans to register 6.3 new voters in 2027, 6.3 million actually, new voters in 2027.
We are rolling out the voter registration exercise on 29th of September 2025. That will be precisely Monday next week.
Yes, Monday, sorry.
And our first launch will happen in Kajiado, in Mashuru, a primary school ground, where we will interact with the people of Mashuru as we launch this exercise countrywide. That's where we'll have the ceremonial launch, but all our Huduma centers, all our registration centers across all the 290 constituencies will be open.
And we would like to appeal to all Kenyans to participate in the voter registration, especially the young, those who have not had a chance to vote before in the country.
This is just projection. The 6.3 is just a projection, especially for our officers, to be accurate, to actually be accurate, because we are saying these 6.3 are the people who either have ID or they already have applied for ID.
I mean, that is an interesting figure that IEBC plans to register 6.3 million new voters. And that will be part of our conversation as well tomorrow. So that is definitely, I assure you, definitely do not want to miss. Now, a government pathologist has told the High Court in Nairobi that the injuries sustained by Embu brothers Emmanuel Mutura and Benson Jiru, popularly known as the Kianjokoma brothers, were inconsistent with police claims that they jumped from a moving motor vehicle. Testifying as the seventh prosecution witness, the doctor said he carried out post-mortem examinations on the siblings on August 5th, 2021 at Embu Level 5 Hospital in the presence of their relatives and police officers. Under cross-examination by lawyer Danstan Omari, who represents some of the accused police officers, the witness considered that falls from vehicles can sometimes cause multiple injuries.
Including falling from a motor vehicle.
Yes.
Let us start on the scientific explanation of why you exclude a moving motor vehicle. Kindly explain your scientific explanation.
For this particular body, Emmanuel Mutura, Emmanuel had multiple skull and facial bone fractures with base of skull fracture. Now, if you fall from a moving vehicle, you have one impact. You don't fall all over, like you don't hit your head all over. You're falling from a vehicle and you hit the floor or wherever you are. So the impact will be on one part of the body, the one part of the head. But this one had multiple segmented fractures of the skull, and including the mandible. The mandible is these bones, and base of skull fractures, which were not consistent with that one impact of falling from a moving vehicle.
The Democracy for Citizens Party, DCP, has reaffirmed its commitment to contest the Malava parliamentary by-elections scheduled for 27th of November. DCP has pulled out of some of these contests to back allied parties, but Deputy Leader Cleophas Malala insists on Thursday that the Malava race remains unchanged. The announcement comes just a day after the DCP candidate for the Banisa by-election, Adan Mohamed Kiongozi, withdrew from the race in favor of UDA's Ahmed Maalim following a meeting with President William Ruto at State House in Nairobi.
We have not withdrawn any candidate, and I'm addressing this issue in the case of Malava constituency. We are alive of the fact that we exist within a united opposition, but as it stands right now, we have not negotiated with any sister party in withdrawing the candidature. And to the best of our ability and to the best of our knowledge, we believe that if there is somebody who is supposed to withdraw, then it's not the DCP candidate. So today, this is an affirmation that the DCP party will be fielding a candidate in Malava constituency in the name of Wakili Edgar Busiega Mwanga.
The Anglican Church of Kenya, ACK, following reports of suspended services by private hospitals due to delayed payments, have urged the government to sort it out. The appeal was prompted by reports that private and faith-based hospitals had suspended services to SHA patients due to delayed payments and a failing health insurance system. Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit noted that faith-based hospitals are on the verge of shutting down due to unpaid SHA debts. This follows unfulfilled promises by President William Ruto made 3 weeks prior to settle all outstanding hospital claims.
Be granted prosecutorial mandate that would enable them to perform their duties without interference from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. 2, we demand that the government officers who have been mentioned in corruption cases must resign or step aside until their cases are investigated and conclusively determined. This will show seriousness with which the government handles corruption cases. The state of the economy does not give hope and confidence to the citizens. The level of unemployment among our young people is worrying and creating a sense of despair, and may have direct bearing in rising cases of crime. And we demand that the country's leadership consider a workable plan to stimulate and spur the economy, and especially aside from the so-called empowerment programs that seem discriminatory and does not spur confidence in the way public funds are used for handouts. It is worrying to hear calls from some politicians proposing extension of the tenure of elective position from 5 to 7 years. Since independence, citizens have had the opportunity to elect her leaders every 5 years. The US, which is a bigger economy in the world, has a 4-year presidential term. It is unacceptable for some politicians to want to extend their stay.
All right, allow us to take a quick break at that point, but we'll be right back shortly with more news making headlines. Don't go too far. With us. The Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, has dismissed the government's directive requiring all teachers to fund their medical care through the Social Health Authority, SHA. NAT leaders claim that SHA has failed to cover medical expenses through the National Insurance Scheme. Speaking to the press at his office in Webuye Town, NAT Bungoma County Secretary Robert Mandela urged the government to stop interfering with teachers' health insurance matters and to leave that responsibility to the Teachers Service Commission. He dismissed the government's order requiring teachers to seek medical services through the National Insurance.
Wa chama cha kutetea maslahi ya walimu Kenya National Union of Teachers, tunakataa na kukataa kabisa ya kwamba hakuna mwalimu yeyote atalazimishwa kuingia SHA. SHA ni scam. SHA hakuna, hata ukijaribu utapata ya kwamba walimu wengi wanaumia, wale walikuwa wanajaribu, na wale wagonjwa wote ambao wameenda kwa SHA. Hii ni scam. Hatutaki kuingiza walimu wetu mahala ambapo wataanza kuhangaika kwenda matibabu. wawache. Walimu wengi wanaenda private hospitals, na utapata ya kwamba private hospitals zote zimekataa SHA kama insurance kwa sababu hawalipi. Maana ambapo serikali inaingiza mkono, unapata ya kwamba tunakuwa na shida. Tumekuwa na changamoto katika Minet, but tumekuwa baada ya muda kidogo unapata ya kwamba walimu wetu wanapata huduma ambayo inahitajika. So tunakataa ya kwamba walimu hawataingia kwa SHA, either wabaki kwa Minet ama insurance cover ingine ambayo mwajiri Teacher Service Commission atatupatia. Hizi vile tunaongea, hakuna head teacher ananyanyaza mwalimu. Hao walimu wajue ya kwamba hao walimu wanaita wa primary ndio waliwafunza. Na pia jambo la kushangaza ni kwamba wanafikiria tu walimu wa primary ni P1. Walimu wa primary tuko na walimu wa masters, tuko na walimu wa degree karibu wote. So wasifikirie ya kwamba ni jambo ambalo hao watazaliwa leo. Hao sio Simon Makonde. Wanazaliwa leo, wanataka wakuwe principal, wanataka wakuwe head teachers. Lazima wawajibike, hakuna mtu anawanyanyaza.
The government, through the Ministry of Education, has been urged to ensure timely disbursement of school funds to support learning so as to enable teachers to effectively implement school programs and projects. This call was made during an event to support pupils from Eshienini, Hungwani and Nyenyesi primary schools in Mumias, Kakamega County, where the facilitator Boniface Ngashira donated books to students while girls received sanitary towels.
Na leo hii tumetembea kwa shule karibu 10. Na the problem is tunaomba serikali capitation ambayo inakuja kwa shule isicheleweshe. Ikuje mapema ili iweze kusaidia mashule.
Kwa hivyo ombi langu ni kuhimiza serikali yetu kuu iendeleze ile manifesto yenye the late Emilio Mwai Kibaki alikuwa nayo ya kuhakikisha kwamba mtoto mnyonge anapata elimu yake. Ile mgao wenye tunaomba ifike pale shuleni haifiki kwa watu ambao unafaa, na inafanya mwalimu ama walimu wengi hawezi run shule kama wana fedha. Sasa inabidi waanze kufukuza watoto warudi pale nyumbani.
Now, the president is in United States, New York, for United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, and he earlier on in the day met the France President Emmanuel Macron. They had conversations around bilateral ties between Kenya and France, and there are also plans to initiate a summit that will, be between Africa and African nations as well as France come next year, May 2026. So those pictures you're seeing on your screen is from a meeting that happened earlier on at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States of America.
Migration, wildebeest migration with crocodiles, and this is a yearly phenomenon between Kenya and Tanzania, somewhere for your desk. Then when in the afternoon you can take some coffee. It will help you not to sleep.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Police FC has intensified training ahead of their CAF Champions League second leg match against Mogadishu City Club on Sunday at the Nyayo National Stadium. Police FC's head coach Etienne Ndayiragije has expressed confidence in their path to the second round of the 2025-2026 CAF Champions League group stage qualifiers, having won 3-1 away from home last Saturday at the same venue.
Timu iko poa, ukiona tumerudi mazoezi kwa sababu baada ya mechi ilishinda bado tumekuwa kufanya recovery, leo ndo tumerudi mazoezi. Timu iko sawa, tukijua kwamba ile timu tulicheza nayo na tuliona vizuri na Mungu alitusaidia tukapiga bao 3 na wakatufunga 1. So mazoezi ni kama kawaida kufuatilia mechi katikati ya mwisho wa wiki, tukicheza nao tena tutafute tu win tena. Tukicheza Mogadishu hapa uliona kiwanja ilijaa na mafans wa Mogadishu. So this time sisi tuko home, so tunaomba Wakenya wote wale wako around wakuja tu support kwa sababu ni a big game to us because inatupeleka kwa the second round. Na pia hapo Mungu tukishinda game inakuja hiyo game nyingine pia tunaomba tu mafans wazidi kuja because bila hao inaweza kuwa ngumu, support itakuwa enough sana kwetu.
Nashukuru Mungu kwa up to now sina injury kubwa au naweza kusema itakataza. Wote wali participate last game. Tumemaliza session na wote wako vizuri, kwa hiyo ni cha kushukuru Mungu. Tunaenda kujiandaa tukijua kuwa nao kikosi kiko kamili, tunaenda sasa kujiandaa vizuri zaidi.
We wish Kenya Police all the best ahead of their game on Sunday. Thank you for watching tonight. And as I'd mentioned earlier, we'll be having a conversation around these young people. If the IBC targets to collect 6.7 million people, that's a huge target. That's one thing. The second thing is, how do they get these people out to come and register as voters? And are they a critical factor as well in the run-up to 2027 election? So that conversation I'll be having right here in this studio with Simon Awene, who's an ODM youth leader, as well as Walter Mongare, the famous Nyambane, from the Democratic National Alliance Party, DNA Party, where he's the chairman, at exactly 9 a.m. See you then. Have yourself a good night. I'm Cynthia Nanjala. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi.